Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about what if Naruto was a spear hero, part 1. We're going to be starting off when Naruto is right after Naruto and the village had been rebuilt. He goes to the library to read up on chakra so he can perfect his Rasen Shuriken without needing clones to help him do it, like he does in Naruto the last movie. And he sees a book that he's never seen before, maybe because he don't go to the library. But he sees it and it seems pretty interesting. It's called Spear Hero. He is a fan of fiction. So he starts flipping through it, and it just says post page. You have been summoned. I forget where the kingdom is actually called. I'll probably put it up on screen. But yeah, it says you are summoned to the kingdom as the spear hero, and the page starts to glow. Naruto thinks it's a genjutsu, so he says release. It's not a genjutsu and nothing works. So he then thinks it's a bomb and tries to throw it out the library. Even though he knows there's civilians, he didn't think no one was around the library. But nothing happens. It just keeps going, and he goes and sees that nothing happened, and went to go pick it up and thought, maybe it's just like a cool book title that has chakra imbued with it, so it teaches you as you read it. So, and he picks up the book, but the book sucks him up. And he awakens. And when he awakens, he sees not Modiasu. He sees the sword hero, the bow hero, and of course Naofumi, the shield hero, my favorite character in the whole entire show. And he is actually very similar to Modiasu in very many ways. He does have the blonde hair, blue eyes, so main thing that attracts them in the series. But yeah, so he gets summoned and he has a spear in hand. And for those people in the comments that's already about to be like, but Naruto never used a spear, so why did he become a spear hero instead of the sword hero? Because, one, in the series, they never specifically said that you have to use a certain thing. Obviously, Naofumi never used a shield before. It says in what type of world you come from. And the second reason is, I felt it was cooler to make him the spear hero, and it would make more sense. It would affect the series in more ways than making him the bow hero or the shield hero or the sword hero. And also the reason why he didn't become the shield hero is because even though his world is very, very much not technically advanced in any of them, he's not even from Japan. But it's a what if. It's like a fan fiction type thing. I could do whatever I really want to. But yeah, now let's go. And he looked at them and he's like, where am I? Like, he starts to freak out. And he wonders if he could still do Shadow Clone Jutsu and all of that stuff. Or if he's been like summoned and then restricted from all his abilities. So he says Shadow Clone Jutsu, and two more of him appear side by side of the sword hero and the bow hero, and they're freaked out. It's like, whoa. When did you get that ability? I ain't get no abilities yet. And he's like, that's my regular. You don't have chakra? It's like, what is that? It's like, crap, what did I be summoned to? And then the mages that's all around them, that's what I'm forever gonna call them. I don't know the actual name. But yeah, the mages all around them tells them to go to the palace room and to follow them. So Naruto does, wanting to know where he is. And the king himself explains that they have been summoned from different worlds, and he's like, from different worlds. So yeah, that explains everything. So, and then the sword hero's like, they said exact replica of, I forget the game he says. And then they go back and forth. Naofumi and Naruto are the two confused ones, because Naruto never played a game before in his life, really. We never actually saw in the series that it's like gaming systems until Boruto. So yeah. So Naruto and Naofumi is like, you heard of those games before? And Naofumi says, no, I have never heard of those games. And the sword and bow hero turned to she was like, "Which game is this exact replica of?" I don't know. I've never seen this world before. So, and then obviously puzzled. So, and then they start coming up with theories in their room, to where there's like, well, the reason why Naofumi is the shield hero because he never played those type of games, not very technologically advanced like the other two heroes. And Naruto, they don't know about him. They, since he's very powerful for the spirit class in any of those games, so they just think like the summoners messed up or something. And that's actually very good because they actually did mess up. They did not mean to summon Naruto. They meant to summon Moriyasu, obviously. And then they go, after the next day, they go back to the kingdom, well, the palace, and the king says, "You will begin a party." And Naofumi in his head, as always, thinking, I wonder who he will choose for me. But then those people starts to walk towards the people they want. And Naruto is very much a looker in this series. So a lot of the girls actually just go towards him, as in the original. So, and then Naofumi is with no one. Again, like, he's just lonely. He's that one lonely person in school always. But yeah. And then Naofumi is like, "This isn't fair. I can't do nothing. I'm just a shield. I don't have any offensive abilities." And Naruto is like, "Well, I'll join you." And the king explains that those two opposite abilities won't collide. But and then Naruto says, "But me and him already went out hunting and we got some XP." And everyone is dumbfounded. They never heard of that before. So Naruto and that they technological advances as the other two. So, and also it was a mistake by the mages, so a lot of things had been corrupted. So they actually get double XP instead of getting no XP when they near each other. And everyone in his team's like, "I want to be like the shield hero," because they're very disgusted by him for some reason. Even before the whole rape situation happened. And they actually go towards the two other heroes, the bow and sword hero. But mine stays. He's like, "Well, I don't really care." And then Naruto immediately goes off, like, he just starts hunting immediately so he could get the hang of the spear. And again, Naofumi and Mine starts talking about to a restaurant. And Mine tries to force Naofumi to drink. He says he doesn't drink and declines the wine that Mine gives him. And then they go to their separate rooms. And then the next day, Naofumi wakes up to see that all of his possession has been robbed. He has no gold like the king gave him. He has nothing, no equipment, no nothing. And he's like, and he goes to my room, and she's gone too. So he thinks, well, that's a messed up situation. But he realized he probably can't do much. He goes to the king and is about to explain the situation. But once he comes in, Mine is there, and the king calls him a rapist. Mine makes up a fake story about how he forced himself on her, and he was so intoxicated. Obviously not true. And Naruto says, what reason would he have to do that? What would he gain from that situation? And also, I had a clone with him. So he actually denied the drink. He actually denied all the drinks you gave him. So he wasn't even intoxicated. And Mom's like, "Are you calling me a liar, Spear Hero?" He's like, yes, I am. I saw it in my very own eyes. So the king's like, "No, my daughter would never lie." And then for Naruto and Naofumi, it clicks why she even did that. What she would gain from that is honestly just gold. She could get anything she wants. And the king is like, "You are banished." And he's like, "What do you mean? I didn't even do nothing." And the sword and bow hero are like, "Yeah, that's a fact. What would he gain what would he gain from that situation?" And they started to argue back and forth, and he's like, "I don't care. My daughter would never lie to me." And since they don't know about the slave press yet, they can't do nothing. So he just says, I don't care. Both of you, Spear Hero and Shield Hero, you are banished. You will only be coming here when needed. And they are clearly very pissed and do not feel like dealing with him. So they were like, know what? Naruto's like, know what? Whatever! And his voice starts to go deeper, and the Nine Tails is slowly creeping up on him. It's like, I don't care. I will let this country be destroyed. It's not my world. He's like, it's not my world. And either way, I go back to mine. And the cloak starts appearing around him. And One Tails comes up, and they're starting to realize, whoa, this kid is a serious threat. And he's like, come on now for me. And he calms down, and Naofumi is actually like, yeah, let's go. And he actually has the eyes. I would definitely like to give a big shout out to Wooder Sensei for giving me this specific idea. And actually this idea as a whole, because he made Naruto the shield hero. I decided to make Naruto the spear hero. Naofumi actually does not have the one tail cloak. He has like the light version that Naruto had against Sasuke. He has the eyes and he has like the aura, but he does not have any tails. Naofumi specifically has like a shadow Nine Tails. Yes, that's what I'm calling it. It's actually very much black, and he has the shadow Nine Tails. And him, like every person that joins his party, Naruto's party, gets this shadow Nine Tails. And then Naofumi was like, yeah, let's go. And they realized, wow, crap, we can't. Naruto don't know how to use his spear, so they need someone that could actually, do damage. So Naruto is like, let's go to the slave crest. Let's get a slave, since they actually have seen that. And they pick two characters now. They pick two girls. One, since Naruto actually kept his gold, he actually had the king gave him around 100 gold. So but Naruto doesn't want to waste that much gold on anything. So Naofumi gets Raftalia as always. But Naruto gets not the first thing he showed. He actually got something for just only 10 gold pieces. It was not a dragon or anything of the sort. It was actually I'm trying to think of a good one for this. Okay, it was actually a orc. Yes, I'm making a whole separate thing. It's not like a orc where it has a big tusk and it's ugly. No, it's a very, I'll say teenage girl, and she's actually very beautiful. And Naruto picks her and it's like, and she has pink hair, and you should know where I'm going with this, but completely white eyes. Like, it seems like she's blind. But the slave trader actually corrects Naruto, because he says Byakugan. He says no, she's not blind, but she has difficulty here. She had difficulty seeing due to overuse of her eyes. Something like, he's like, Mangekyo Sharingan? Like, he just naming stuff from his world. Like, no, she has special eyes. Because she has special eyes, yes. But every time she uses those eyes, nothing happens to her. It's just that, if you push your eyes too far, like the Byakugan, could temporarily be blind. So she only like that. She only been like that for a couple days. And she's gonna be over it soon, as he says, so the client could purchase it, and he does. So Raftalia, and she's not afraid of things. She actually wants to train Raftalia, so they start training with the sword, because she came with a sword. And by the time they actually start going out hunting, Naruto's with them trying to stab stuff with the spear. And you could come up with a name for her in the comments. I don't know if this video gonna blow up or not, but yeah, still come up with a name for her. And and if you don't come up, because I'm gonna do a different video from 2 days from now or tomorrow. I'm gonna do a different video. But if you don't come up with it within a week, then I'll just come up with one myself. Yeah, but now let's get back to the video. They're doing their hunting, and Naruto actually is looking at Naofumi, and when he sees Naofumi put an ingredient into his shield, and his shield changed, he had a good idea. So he and Ratalia, the orc, actually did a combo attack. Ratalia first sliced its legs, and then this is gonna probably be graphic, probably not though. And then the orc actually takes out both eyes, so the actual thing is panicking because they're actually in the case currently. And that Naruto, I could not remember his name even though it's right on my screen. Naruto actually stabs it directly in the heart, and he starts ripping into it, and he sees like a piece of hide and takes it and dips and puts it in his own personal shield, and it was actually very cool what happened. It became the monster, yes, because his spear is that epic. And also, I do not believe that we know what happens if a piece of a monster goes inside of a spear. We know what happens with the shield, but it might be different for the spear. Talk about that actually. Who's excited for Spear Shield Hero Season 2? I love that series. But yeah, that actually gave me part of my name on the different channel. But yeah, other than that, let's get back. He actually starts, and it became the monster, but then it goes back to the spear size, and then in his eyes he could see, I forget the monster's actual name, but he sees the monster name in his spear, so he calls out the monster name, and then what actually happened was like a mini version of the monster came out and just was there. Like it wanted to, but it had 9 tails. So obviously, I'm insinuating that it combined with the spear, combined with Kurama, kind of for the abilities. So he's like, and he realized something. Naruto realized something. He has the 9 tails spear. So he says, 9 tails spear, and he starts to like jab it towards the sides. And like that, not the actual 9 tails, but 9 tails of like a fox came out on all sides and wrapped around. Kurama seeing through Naruto's eyes like, that spear, it seems pretty powerful, kid. And he says, kid, you shouldn't use it. You don't know his abilities. He's like, and Naruto out loud says, I don't know your abilities either, Kurama. I don't know your ability either, Naruto, so should I use you? And then Naruto grumbles and goes back to sleep and just says, I was trying to protect you, but when this backfires, don't say nothing. And he goes to sleep. And Naofumi, Raftalia, and the orc goes up to Naruto and says, who was you talking to? He's like, you guys to explain immediately. Like, well, I have something to end me, a 9-tailed fox. And I talked to that. It's in me. And actually, now for me, it should be in all of us. I can sense it in all of you. But it seems weaker than all of you. Like, way weaker. And they say, what? How can we contact it then? It's like, well, mine contacts me randomly. And only if I meditate really good can I get it. So they start to meditate, and they all see the shadow 9 tails. And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is what Naruto has in him? And they nope out of there real quick. And they start to talk about it. And Naruto's like, yeah, this is very scary. And they're just like talking, and they leave. They just leave the cave. And they think they are very good. They are actually very set. And I'm gonna be leaving it off here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please check out my Discord server, link down in the description. Check out my DeviantArt because I love doing art. And tell me if I should make an art channel if you like the things I draw up there. I do know how to make heads actually pretty easily. But other than that, I'll be leaving. And it is Universal is spreading the what is universally. Goodbye, guys, and I hope you guys have a great day.